The puzzle of power. In the world of Jujutsu, strength isn't always about who can punch the hardest. It's about who can solve the mystery of their opponent first. We left off with the sorcerers divided and trapped. On the rooftop, Yuji Itadori is facing a physical nightmare in the form of a resurrected Toji vessel, while on the ground, Megumi Fushiguro is staring down Jiro Iwasaka, a man who seems to shrug off their most powerful attacks like they were nothing. The clock is ticking toward the final stabilization of the prison realm, and if these barriers don't fall, Gojo Satoru is gone forever. Today, the students of Jujutsu High must prove that they aren't just muscle. They are tacticians. Welcome to episode 9. Logic is the only weapon that can break the inverse, and the chaos of Shibuya is about to reach a boiling point. Scene 1. The Wall of Inverse. The episode opens with Megumi and Yuji reuniting at the base of the tower. They've successfully pulled Iwasaka into a pincer maneuver, but the results are frustrating. Yuji delivers a blow that should shatter concrete, but Iwasaka barely flinches. Megumi Shikigami, Nu, and Orochi strike with lightning and fangs, but the curse user just laughs. Is that all? Iwasaka sneers, his bulky frame moving with surprising grace. The stronger you are, the weaker your impact. That is the law of my body. Megumi, the tactical genius of the group, begins to analyze the situation. He notices that when a small piece of debris hit Iwasaka, he actually winced. The gears in Megumi's head begin to turn. He realizes that Iwasaka's technique, inverse, flips the magnitude of force. A killing blow becomes a tickle, but a weak tap becomes a devastating strike. Scene 2. The Coordinated Reversal. Megumi whispers the plan to Yuji. We have to hit him with the exact opposite of what we usually do. We need to go weak. The animation shifts to a high-speed, strategic dance. Yuji and Megumi engage Iwasaka simultaneously. Yuji, who is used to putting his entire soul into his fist, has to consciously restrain his strength. He throws a punch that looks heavy but has almost no weight behind it. At the same time, Megumi uses his shadows to trip Iwasaka. The realization on Iwasaka's face is priceless. He tries to adjust his technique, but the duo is too fast. Megumi creates a distraction with rapid escape, flooding the area with thousands of shadows, while Yuji lands the final weak blow that bypasses the inverse limit. Iwasaka is sent crashing into the barrier stake, and the veil over Shibuya finally begins to dissipate. Scene 3. The Rooftop Reawakening. While the barrier falls, we return to the roof where Ino is being brutally beaten by the Toji vessel. Ogami, the old seance, is cackling, thinking she has won. But then, something goes wrong. The vessel stops listening to her commands. Grandson? What are you doing? Kill him, Ogami screams. The vessel turns toward her. The information of Toji Fushiguro's body has completely overwhelmed the grandson's soul. Because Toji had zero cursed energy, his body was a heavenly restriction that didn't consume energy to maintain. The body has hijacked the ritual. In a shocking, swift motion, the Toji vessel strikes Ogami, killing her instantly. The ghost of the sorcerer killer is now a wild card, a mindless puppet of destruction wandering the halls of Shibuya. He doesn't care about the prison realm. He only cares about finding the strongest opponent to kill. Scene 4. Nanami's Fury. With the barrier down, The Grade 1 sorcerers can finally move toward the center. We see Kento Nanami walking through the subway tunnels. He finds the mangled body of a manager, Ijichi, lying in a pool of blood. The 7'3" sorcerer, usually the most composed man in the series, loses his cool. His aura flares with a golden light. He encounters a minor curse user responsible for the stabbing and doesn't offer a lecture or a warning. Nanami delivers a series of strikes that aren't just professional. They are vengeful. He collapses the tunnel on his opponent with a single blow. "I don't have time for your games," Nanami growls, his tie loosened, his eyes burning with a cold rage. This is the first time we see the salaryman sorcerer truly unleashed. Scene 5. The subway standoff. Deep at the B5F platform, the brain Kenjaku is waiting. The prison realm is still too heavy to move. Jogo and Mahito are arguing about what to do with Yuji Itadori. "We should kill him now and let Sukuna take over," Jogo insists, wanting to bring about the era of curses. "No," Mahito counters, wearing a sadistic grin. "I want to see how much more he can suffer. I want to break his soul before he dies." They decide to have a race. Whoever finds Itadori first gets to decide his fate. The special grade curses scatter through the tunnels, turning the subway into a hunting ground. At the same time, Mei and her brother Yui encounter Kenjaku. Scene 6, the divine encounter. Mei readies her axe. She is a sorcerer who lives for money and survival, but even she realizes the gravity of the man standing before her in Suguru Geto's body. Kenjaku doesn't even draw a weapon. He simply summons a special grade cursed spirit, the smallpox deity. "If you can survive this," Kenjaku says calmly, "perhaps I'll take you seriously." The episode ends with Mei being dragged into a domain expansion, a literal graveyard where a giant tombstone is hovering over her head. Meanwhile, Yuji is running through the tunnels when he hears a familiar rhythmic sound. Clack, clack, clack. Coming out of the darkness is Chozo, the eldest of the death painting wombs. His eyes are fixed on Yuji, and they are filled with the memory of his fallen brothers, Eso and Kechizu. "I've found you," Chozo whispers. "The murderer of my brothers." The final suspense. The pieces are finally clashing. The time for strategy is over. The time for survival has begun. Blood vs. soul. Yuji vs. Chozo. It's a battle of vengeance. Can Yuji's martial arts stand up to the piercing blood technique? Mei's gambit. Can the most expensive sorcerer in the world escape the smallpox deity's domain, or will she be buried alive? Toji's path. The sorcerer killer is loose. Who will he run into first, and will anyone survive the encounter? If you can feel the tension through the screen, smash that like button and subscribe. We are heading into the bloody battle phase of Shibuya. Press the bell icon for episode 10, the Shibuya Incident. Red Scale, where Yuji fights for his life in the most intense combat of the season. Who is the stronger brother, Chozo or Yuji? Let us know in the comments below. End of episode 9.